I'm feeling cleaner than I ever would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Guys, we are going to get into this Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is my first time reviewing Salt Lake City, so bear with me. I'm new to doing these by myself, so just bear with me on this. But I am excited about it because I am really enjoying this season. And this episode is not today. It wasn't last night's episode. This is this episode from last week, and then I'll do today. I'll do the episode that came on yesterday tomorrow. So, because I already wrote the notes for this one. I'm supposed to do this yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to do it. So, bear with me with that. And so let's go ahead and take care of the business of this channel, and then we can get started. If you want to join the SoDeb Nation, turn on your notifications. And y'all, if y'all are not getting notifications, make sure you can unsubscribe and then resubscribe, and it should put you back into the algorithm, put me back into your algorithm. But turn on your notifications. Comment down below in the comment section after I get done, just so that you know that you guys are here. Make sure you're liking the video. Comment over here in the chat if you are in the chat. Let's play this intro and let's get into it. Let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
All right, y'all, and I'm back. So before we get started, I want you guys to go ahead and rate the episode. This is not the last episode, but the episode before this. On a scale from 1 to 10, content-wise, I'll give it an actual 10, to be honest. Did I like what happened in it? Absolutely not. What happened in it, I would give it like a piss poor fall, because I hated the things that happened in this episode. But I think the content is very good, so I'm going to give it a 10 from last week's episode. And what's going on to Miss Wilson in the chat? Hey, what's Miss Wilson? What's going on to Haru in the chat? What's going on, my good sis Barb Meets World? Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to Barb Meets World. And y'all, I'm not doing the whole season, but Barb and California Cutie do. They have been keeping up with the season. So if you guys want reviews for the rest of the season, you guys can go over to their channel and get the rest of my eyeball. Is it the light? I don't know. But yes, all right, so let's go ahead and get started with this episode. So this episode starts off with Lisa Barlow. She's preparing for some kind of event, for some kind of event. They never said what the event was that she was preparing for, so I'm not really sure what Lisa was getting prepared for. All I know is that the people that was going to be there for talent is going to be these are her talent is right here is Steve Carell, Jason Schwartzman, Corey Smith, and Rami Youssef. Then it says she doesn't think that the other girls are in the group understand who she works with. They just always wanted to mouse who she's with, but she does stuff with people like Daniel Radcliffe, Usher, Dexter Darden, Forrest Whitaker, Shailene Woodley, and other huge people. Now, she's been saying all this stuff, y'all, but she hasn't said like what does she do with these people? Because she's naming off all these people that she does this stuff with, but like what do you do? Like what do you do for them? We don't know, right? She wants to make sure nobody has a nut allergy because her mouth doesn't like the nuts, but she always likes the way that they taste. And of course, it sounds very inappropriate, especially when you're talking to your, I don't know if they were her workers or her co-workers or what. They never really explain who these people are that are around Lisa. So I'm assuming that they work for her. Nobody in the group understands nobody understands that when you are doing big things, you are eventually going to get sued. It's nothing that she's worried about, though. She has more than 6 lawyers. They have a lawyer for everything. They cross their teeth with their lawyers. She's not trying to sound braggy, but she's done amazing things. That's all she sounds like. She's bragging to me. I mean, she's name dropping. She got all these lawyers. Her personality is so bland, and it really is unengaging. Like I want to be Meredith and disengage every single time she comes on. And I thought it was really funny that they put those fake lawyers on there. They had like Claire Huxtable, Annalise Keaton as the lawyers, but it said they're not the real lawyers. I thought that was hilarious to me. What's going on, Shay B? Hey boo, I've missed you. I've been on a personal hiatus from social media. Much love. Okay, yeah, I just got back myself. So welcome. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. She asked her assistant to confirm her luncheon. She plans on ambushing the girls for talking about her at that camping trip. Next, we get to Bronwyn and her husband Todd. Bronwyn and Todd, they went out to eat. She brought him to this restaurant so they can have their own taste of Italy. She says the biggest takeaway from the reunion and NYC was that Todd's willingness to see what people were saying about the way he speaks to her and him acknowledging it. She thinks since then Todd has made a significant effort, but she hasn't changed. And that's not good because if he's making these changes, and we'll get into more of why I'm going to say this is not really good for her, but if he's making these changes and she hasn't done any changes, she's really going to make that man upset. He's going to end up really on the fence of getting ready to leave her ass. She needs to cut that shit out. They talked about each other's they talk about each other's day. She says she went to go visit her dad, who is in a nursing home he has Alzheimer's. She says when she's there, he's up and all happy, but she feels bad leaving him there. She wishes she could manage it at home when she was staying with him. But on days when it's hard, it's impossible to navigate him. Todd tells her he needs professional care, and that's why you set him up with professional care. She said it's been rough for them the last few months because both of her parents struggling with health issues. Her father has Alzheimer's for 10. He's had Alzheimer's for 10 years, and her mother had a brain tumor. Her mother's emergency brain surgery and is going to be fine and recover, but her dad needs around the clock 24-hour care. They moved her dad to a facility called Memory Care, but her mother lives with them, and it looks like she's going to be there permanently. She tells Todd she couldn't have done this without him letting her parents move in. He stepped up financially for them until they figured out their household logistics. And I wish I wouldn't have watched this episode this week because my feelings have changed about Todd. But Todd looks extremely irritated with Bronwyn when she's talking about this. Like, he doesn't want to look at her. He doesn't really want to talk about this. And you could tell that this is something that's really sitting on his mind when it comes to helping her parents out. Because I feel like Todd is already old enough. Like, he don't want to take care of people. To me, it's like her parents are like his age, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they look like they're around the same age. Bronwyn wants him to look at her, and she tells him she knows that that's not what he wanted to do. Not what he wanted to do. He's changed a lot around with his everyday life, with his business, with his traveling, with just plans that they made for their family and things like that. He's just changed a lot. And you could tell again when she mentions this, like, his body language is showing like change the subject. Like, she's not reading the room very well. She says it feels like it's been a year since this year has started. And I understood what she meant when she said that, because I remember when we found out that my grandmother had cancer, it was like it had been a year, had already started, and now we're just now starting in January. Like, it was a lot. After this week, I get Todd's attitude. Yeah, me too. Me too. So Todd sarcastically laughs and says, "Yes, it stays. It's been rough. It's been a rough start to the year, and that she has taken on a lot." He asks her how did her discussion with Meredith go. She tells him it went really well. She talks to Meredith about everything she has going on with her parents. She's really talks to Meredith about her dad. And I'm not sure if Meredith's dad, I don't know if he had Alzheimer's too, and that's why she was able to relate with her. But Meredith tells her it's probably good for her because that she has all the people in her house, and people are moving, because it keeps her busy and having people around. She says she feels like when she was dealing with her father, too much time alone dwelling on it was not great for her. Bronwyn feels like them sharing this experience can bring them closer together as friends, because Meredith now has a window into her life that she can understand Bronwyn a little bit more. Todd thinks it's good that Meredith will have a chance to see her in a different light and something outside of the friend group. She tells Todd she talked to Meredith about the friend group as well, and she's been through the same things that Bronwyn has gone through with Lisa, where people say things very hard to come back from, and y'all know how Lisa's mouth is. I mean, I couldn't be Lisa's friend. I've been done pop Lisa in her damn mouth about 4 or 5 times. So, I think the bigger picture is that I can't even say this now because I watched the damn episode, but I think the bigger picture is she has to work with Lisa. Oh yeah, I think the bigger picture, she has to work with Lisa on the show. And to me, it's unbearable for anybody. Shit, I would pull my ears out having to listen to fucking Lisa scream and deflect every time she got to get confronted. Todd is overly saying he doesn't think she will ever let Lisa disrespect her. He doesn't think that she'll ever get into a place where Lisa can disrespect her and she can kind of ignore it. Because that's what she says, she wants to get in that place where she can ignore the fact that Lisa's being disrespectful to her. This is one of my favorite parts with Angie and her dad. Angie says her dad is 89 years old. And her first phone call of the day, and her last phone call of the night is to her dad. And you could tell that she really loves her dad, and they have such a great friendship and relationship. You can feel like the love through the screen when you see Angie and her dad. Like it just gave me chills to watch Angie and her dad together. Every year she helps her dad with his flower garden in the front yard of his house. This year she wants her daughter to come over and help. She says every year when the roses come up, she remembers that she has another year with her dad. She feels like a little girl who needs her dad every time this happens, every year. She tells her dad tells her yesterday he was cleaning up and he found some family photos that he wanted her to see. They were photos she had never seen before. Before he moved to the United States and after they moved to the United States. She mentioned how serious they looked in the pictures. She thought that the cameras were just slow and missed them. And she figured like they missed him smiling in the pictures. But he told her, he was like, no, they really just didn't have a lot to smile for because they were struggling so hard back then. And she asked him about when they came in, the Germans that came into the village. They came into the village when he was 7 years old, and he said they had the advantage over them, so they couldn't put up a good fight. They came into the village and they burnt everyone's homes down. He said they didn't have very much in the homes because they lived in poverty. Todd is 26 years older and he is 65 years old, I believe. Yeah, and I believe her parents are around the same age, I believe. Where am I at? Angie said Andy said that he protected them from knowing the stories from his past because he didn't want them to know, that he struggled as a child. But she's glad that he's talking about it now because she thinks about the frivolous things that she thinks about, like getting her, what did she say, her eyebrows stitched or something like that. Um, she said it was a wake up call to her. She was talking about getting, like, the makeup and all that stuff. She was talking about that. So then we get to Bronwyn and her mother, and this is when I started getting irritated again. Bronwyn's mother is going back and forth from South California, moving her and her father's moving her and Bronwyn's father's things to Salt Lake City so that she could sell their childhood home. Her mother says she found things that they have not opened in 25 years. She's having a hard time throwing things out because she doesn't want to throw things her father might want, or he might remember later on that he won or was significant to him, or things like that. She's having a hard time throwing them out because she doesn't want to throw them out. She just doesn't know because of his Alzheimer's. Bronwyn says Alzheimer's is terrible for anyone to go through. And I'm sorry, I'm so afraid that my parents would ever get Alzheimer's, because I don't know what I would do if my mom or my dad would not remember me, or remember me at a certain space in life and like don't know me any farther. Like that would be, that seems really scary. So when she was talking about this, even this part was like heart touching until her mom opens up her mouth. But she said she obviously feels sorry for her dad, but it's almost harder for the people who know what's going on. She says she starts to feel sorry for herself. She's losing her dad and don't know how to deal with it. Then she realizes that how it must be feeling for her mother, who was his best friend. Bronwyn doesn't think her dad remembers her as an adult, and her mom says he doesn't. He thinks that she's her younger sister, and then he thinks that her younger sister is like a baby still. And Bronwyn has started having a hard time with it because the time that she's a teenager, he believes she's still a teenager. And I guess around the time that he remembers her, Bronwyn was pregnant, which is basically like the dark cloud over her mom and her dad's relationship with her, because she got pregnant at a young age. Sam, it really is. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't even want to experience it. I don't want to experience it. Just hearing stories about it enough is enough for me. Bronwyn she knows her dad always wanted better for her. And it took her a while to get there. Her mother says she couldn't, and then her mother says that no, what she said was she wanted to do the best that she could do, and she knew that her dad wanted the best for her. And then her mom says, well, you couldn't have done it without time. And I'm like, ma'am, if you don't shut the up, she would have got her stuff and left. Because to me, this is what validates the reason why Bronwyn always wants validation from that group of women that she's hanging around, because she can't get it from her mother or her father, to be honest. And her father, she's never going to be able to get it because he has Alzheimer's now. But her mom, when she said that, it just took me to a place of like darkness. Like I would have been like, well, you wouldn't be here still if it wasn't for Todd either, because he just paid for you to be for your surgery for your brain tumor. Her mom needs to move from that ish. Stop being so judgmental. Yeah. But then she's still judging Bronwyn. And I don't like that, because when she said that to her, I'm like, you are living in a house that who knows if where Bronwyn would be living at if it wasn't for Todd. Because I mean, she could have had her own stuff, but like for her to throw that at Bronwyn, like she couldn't do anything if it wasn't for Todd. To me, that was a slap in her face. To me, I'm like, Todd's not just helping me out, Mom. He's helping you too. So you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Todd. How about that? But anyways, I'll move on. So then we get to Heather and Angie. So Heather is redecorating her storage room now that her daughters are gone, and making it into her love den. That was hard. It really was hard to watch. Like when I tell you, if I was in an emotional space at that time, I would have cried, because I think when it came down to that, like it really put in perspective why she last season when she wanted that friendship with Lisa so bad, and it felt like Lisa kind of turned on her. But it goes to show that like Bronwyn really, she seeks validation from other people because she's been trying to get it from her mother. And I was watching Barb and California Cutie earlier, and they were even talking about like how bad it is. Like her hair is like her mother's hair. Like that's how crazy that it was to me. What's going on, Miss Jen? That scene was triggering for me. Her mom was yeah, she was. And then the episode that came on last night is even worse. Yes, I would have told her off. I would have too. Her ass would have been on the porch. But anyway, so we get to Heather and Angie. She's redecorating her storage room because her daughters moved out there all in college. So all of this, the room there, the storage that her daughter's stuff was in. I don't know where she moved it to. I don't know if they took it with them, but it's not in that room no more. So she wanted to make her loved in. Now, when I heard loved in, I'm thinking like, oh, she wanted to be a little freak. That's what I thought. But she's gonna turn it into like basically like an office space. I don't know why she called it like the office space of love did. I guess because she's writing her books like she's creating in the room. I don't know. When I heard love, then I'm thinking like Candy's Dungeon. But she says it's basically going to be like her office. She's been working out of her bed since she's been in the home, and her daughters were since her and her daughters have moved into that house. But now it's time to get up and actually work out of her bed. Angie helps her paint the room. I like the color that they picked out, the champagne color. I thought that was really nice. She says her daughter wants a warmer color feeling in her room. I think she said she wants like patterns and stuff. She says she's getting nervous because her daughter is like really like changing, and she likes pattern stuff. She can't tell if she is just rebelling because she's growing up. The other day, she told her daughter that she was getting her Greek citizenship, and her daughter said, "I don't really care." Like her daughter was like,
"What the f is this?"
She like, okay, shit, you could be a damn giraffe for all I care. Where am I asking? Okay. She said, I really care. She's like, you're really taking this Greek thing, you're taking it really far. Angie tells Heather her daughter told her she's making this Greek thing like her whole identity, but it's not her identity. And she doesn't understand why Angie is doing it. Angie is struggling having a teenager. She thought that they would be like best friends forever. I think all parents probably think that, you know, and then they go through we go through our teenage phase, and then, you know, she'll be back. She'll be back. Angie tells her Brittany ran over to Lisa and threw her underneath the bus. Oh, Heather asked Angie what happened at Amy's party because she didn't want to get caught up in all the aftermath, so she just hid. Heather always be running from everything that goes on there. I don't know if y'all ever watched Girlfriends that time where Tony and them got into that fight and Joan hid behind the thing. That's Heather. She wouldn't be good if they get into no fights or nothing. Angie tells her that Brittany ran over to Lisa and threw her underneath the bus by bringing up that she compared Lisa to Jen Shaw. Heather says, we clearly have a friend that's either in financial distress or living a lie or is under attack because of all these lawsuits. She's talking about Lisa. Andy says part of her has compassion for her, but the other part of her is like, she's never going to change. She's bragging about everything and then posting AI pictures of herself, taking old pictures and placing herself in different locations. Heather says she told her the other day, Lisa told her she has a very different life than her. And she said than all of them. That's what she didn't say that Heather, she said from all of them. She has a totally rich and fancy life. And Angie is just over Lisa. And I think, to be honest, everybody's over her besides Meredith. And I think Meredith is not over her because she's trying to keep that friendship. And I think that they have like an alliance together. And Meredith's not going to break it because some of the shit that Lisa is doing and saying doesn't make sense. That why she's going along with it. Heather says she worked really hard to build and keep. She worked really hard at keeping and building her relationship with Lisa, but at this point, it's almost impossible to keep up with it. Angie says the only way you can be her friend is if you let her diminish your accomplishments to make her feel better. Heather tells her she thinks the only reason Lisa is probably hurt by Angie is because she thought that her and Angie had a real relationship. And she said she thought they did too. So then we get to the gun range. So at the beginning, I don't know if I missed this part, but at the beginning, Lisa decided that they're going to go to, she's going to take one group to this gun range, and the other group is going, and then she's going to meet with the rest of the group to go to this luncheon. So for the gun range, she chose Mary, Heather, Amy, and Meredith. And I'm trying to figure out, why the hell did she put Mary over there? Because Mary don't like her either. Heather, she really is. I don't understand why she invited Mary to the gun range, because Mary does not like Lisa at all. And I feel like they invite Mary just so that Mary doesn't get this. I feel like Mary knows more about them than they want, and they don't want Mary in the spaces with them without them being around, so she can't say things about them or something. Like Mary has some type of hold over this group where they don't leave Mary out of shit. But they went to the gun range, to Blue Sky Gun Range, a place where she goes with her family. She didn't want the whole group to go because it's the safe space that's close to her family. The other girls keep trying to stab her in the back, and she said they're going to just shoot her in the back. So why would she bring them to a gun range? Heather asks, what's going on today? Are they just hanging at the gun range? And Lisa says, no, the other girls will be meeting up with us for lunch. Heather is wondering what's going on because Lisa is moving suspicious. Lisa thinks that when people run their mouths, they should know what they're talking about, and they ain't gonna learn that either. So the thought of Mary holding I'll be more afraid that Mary would turn around and shoot my ass before the rest of the damn girls, to be honest. All right, let me get to the most draining part of this whole damn episode. I can't know how many notes I have for this. So now that the girls, what's her name? Lisa Grabs tells the girls it's time to go to the lunch. Angie Bronwyn and Whitney are shocked that Lisa had invited them anywhere. Lo and behold, it wasn't a real damn invite. Mary, Heather, and Amy and Meredith and Lisa pull up from the gun range, and Lisa leads them into the dining room where she has posters all over the damn room with the charges on them that have big red stamps over them saying dismissed. When I seen this, I'm just like, this is a lot. This is a lot. And the thing is that I don't think that she even understands what the paperwork means, because when they got to this one, hold on. Remove. When they got to this one, I'm like, ma'am, you do know that's not dismissed. It says clear as day that it's not dismissed. It says that you are denying it. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was ridiculous. I felt like Kiki Palmer at this point. Like,
what the hell is? Ooh, y'all are really testing me on some stuff that I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
I'm sorry to this lady that she even did this. But everybody is confused and thinks this is ridiculous. Mary says, well, I'm confused and I'm going to stay confused. And I'm going to leave confused. Mary B said the craziest shit. She says she doesn't understand where the clarity is in any of these posters. Heather says it's like a science fair that no one actually did the project. She also says that she hates science fairs. Whitney says she loves the Photoshop work. She took some court documents and put red stamps on them. Then she has a picture of her and John on a boat. She can't tell if they're on a houseboat or a yacht. Brahma says this proves absolutely nothing. Mary is confused why she needs to see them on a yacht. Andy loves the fact that they are so far away on this damn picture that you can't tell that this was like 30 years ago. Then they have a picture of them at a jazz game. Lisa says they are front row, but even everybody knows that they have fold-up chairs on the floor. So where Lisa was sitting at was not a floor seat. And maybe Lisa's going to say she didn't say floor seat, she said front row. Either way, that's not what she was given. Lisa can't articulate a point in fact. She raises her voice and thinks the conversation should be. And I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I would have to leave. I would have to leave. I would be so frustrated. Lisa says this is litigation by Lisa Barlow. People can sue you for anything, so they are going to have a little lunch and talk about allegations versus facts. And she don't even know the difference. Heather says she loves the decor. What's the theme of the luncheon? Lisa says they are going to talk about her. It's about her, me. Okay. And the things people like to discuss about her. When they went to camp, all her things were said about her. So she decided to throw a lunch where they can get complete clarity on accusations, misinformation, and lies. I would have got up and left because all that means is that Lisa's about to start screaming at y'all. That's all that means. The room gets dead silent. Finally, Angie asks, what is all of this supposed to prove? Did you invite us here to read all of this? And Lisa says, yeah, I did. Whitney's like, well, we already read it. That's how we know. Well, Whitney said, I busted out laughing because it was like, well, do I have that thing with Malaysia on here? Oh, do I have it? I don't think I have it. It reminds me of when OG's, when her wig was sliding back. And she was like, no, when her wig was sliding back, and she was like, no, your wig like sliding back. Malaysia's like, no, yours is. I can see it. But when like we already read this, we already know what happened. We already know what's going on. And really, Lisa could have taken down all the other stuff and just typed up the ones that she was denying and explained it. And they could have left happily ever after, to be honest, if she was going to be honest about it. Lisa says, obviously not very well because you didn't spend $25 to get the dismissals. And I'm assuming that she paid $25 to get that big dismiss stamp for the posters, because otherwise 2 of them posters wasn't dismissed. Whitney asks, what does this actually clarify though? Lisa says it clarifies dismiss, dismiss, dismiss. And I'm assuming she was reading off of the ones that was actually dismissed, because she still had that one in the middle that wasn't dismissed. The one that it wasn't dismissed. So I don't know if she forgot that one was there or what, but that one was not dismissed. Oh, what she said was dismiss, and none of your effing business. She said that to Bronwyn. And I'm like, well, now how is it not none of her business when you invited her there to talk about your business? She's so rude to Bronwyn. And like, I listen, I wish I could be Bronwyn for like one episode. Angie says, let me ask some questions that might actually help you shut it down so because this looks a little strange. She said, one, people are reading you have another man's credit card in your wallet. Of course, Lisa interrupts her. She said, hold on, man. Hold on. Let me finish. She said, this man paid off your car. This man paid to remodel your home, and you owe him 118 grand. Lisa is trying to figure out something to say because she came there to play with them people. All the stuff that was dismissed wasn't even on their radar because they didn't really care about that stuff. They wanted to know about the man Angie asked about, and that's it. She could have saved many of the trees when she did all that stuff, because we only wanted to see those 2 posters. So before she could figure out a lie, Mary says, so is none of it true? She finally says no to Mary, and Lisa says she can say without the shadow of a doubt it's a fanciful tale. Her attorney should have never told her that word, because I was sick of hearing the word after the first time. Angie asks, does she have a credit card that the guy got in her name? Amy says they were technically in business together, and they were business partners. Whitney asked, was the poster board that she had declined the claims dismissed? And Lisa says it's in the process. Bronwyn asked, so why does it say dismissed? And Angie was writing her confessional. She's like, "Man, if they're not gonna bippity boopity bop the shit away, then it ain't a fanciful tale. That shit is real." She says she's not worried about anything or anybody, and nobody else should be worried about it either. Um, Angie says it was brought up because she did some digging behind Brahma's back because she didn't know why they was looking up her stuff. So she said they told her they did it because she looked at stuff behind Brahma's back, and Brahma's like, and I'm not the only person that she was, my only person information she was digging up either. And Lisa, she lies so much and she yells and screams so much she don't listen to nothing that she probably don't even remember that she did all this stuff. Brown says, and it's not just. Oh, I just said that part. Brown asks her why she keeps talking about her. Why she keeps talking about her. It's an endless amount of things Lisa says about her. She literally had to apologize to Amy because she went to Amy's party and called Lisa and told Brown that she was a gout dick sucker and told her that she sucks dick for money. So Lisa says that she didn't call her that. I don't She didn't call her prostitute. And then she starts throwing, let me see where my talking about her at the end of the day. Lisa didn't start throwing it as a Brahma's husband, which is crazy word. Then she throws up Brahma lying about the jewelry. This is what it was. And the thing is that it's not working because the thing is that she can't bring up the jewelry because if she would have went to the camping trip, she would have known that Brahman already explained to them that she lied about it. But see, Lisa's like weeks away from this conversation because I'm sure this is like almost, maybe this has to be like a month later because we're on like episode 6. Lisa says she didn't go because she had to go see them famous people and whatever. And Mary just starts laughing. Heather finally grows a pair of balls and says, "None of that matters. They were all on a trip, and Brahman dropped a lot of facts about Lisa, and what we came to the lunch for to hear the clarification about what happened." Lisa said, "Dismiss, dismiss, dismiss. She's in a lawsuit that has no merit on it." Brahman says she hopes it's not true. She hopes Lisa clears it up. She doesn't want this to be true. She doesn't want this to be the case. Lisa gets up and starts pointing at all the cases. She says that everybody knows that the cases are closed and that there is no merit to them. And she starts dancing around the room with all that mess. So Whitney says Lisa is completely unhinged at this point. Andy says she thought that they were invited to ladies' luncheon, and now she feels like she's going to take a damn quiz. Lisa asks what was she looking at? What was she looking to gain from doing this? And Mary tells Lisa the conversation was from all of them. It wasn't just from Mary. It wasn't just from Angie. All of them were talking about it. Andy says, "No, you're frustrating. No one makes me want to get up out of my chair more than you." And this is where Lisa starts to get like kitty, like, "I hate you. No, I hate you too. Stop talking. No, I'm gonna stop. You stop talking." Like she just keeps doing all this stuff. I'm gonna scroll down. So Brittany says she would have loved to hear Meredith's perspective because they had pointed out to Meredith because once Whitney started talking, Meredith started kind of saying stuff. That's what it was. I need to go back. Whitney is shocked that Meredith. Wait, Meredith. Okay, Meredith says, "Whitney, there are a lot of accusations about you out there. It doesn't make them true." And what Whitney was saying is that a lot of the stuff the stuff that's about her is on TikTok, but Lisa's stuff is actually in court. And so what I did was, because I'm like, "Well, shit, let's be messy. Let's find out what was being going on." So when they brought up Meredith brought up Lisa, I was like, "Well, what are they saying about Lisa online?" So I want to look the shit up because I wanted to know. So let's see what they were saying about Lisa. Hold on. Here we go.
What do the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, manifestation, and useless nootropics have in common? Mormonism. No, that's not it. I mean, yes, but no. It's soul people. That's not a drum circle group, that's an MLM.
There is a shift happening on Earth. We are being called back into the present moment. We created an experience that transcends anything the world's ever seen. Our 360 holistic approach, and when I say holistic, I mean WHOL.
I ain't gonna lie, her commercial for this looks like she's inviting us to a damn call.
The holistic approach to product experience.
I've got some tea for you today. So I stumbled across this story of this girl who was planning on going to Soul People's event meetup in Salt Lake City. She had bought plane tickets, she had bought event tickets for her and her team to go. And then Soul People announced 6 days before the trip that they were going to cancel it with no refunds. I've actually never covered Soul People before because honestly, I didn't think that they would be around this long. Soul People was founded by Whitney Rose.
It's Whitney.
Whitney is on Bravo's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. If you don't like any of the skincare or collagen supplements they sell, don't worry, they have MRR courses to sell you.
Welcome to a life-transforming journey that thousands have already embarked on. Our groundbreaking Soul Manifest course is here to walk you step by step through how to become a powerful co-creator of your life.
It's really just a Russian nesting doll of scams. Anyways, my point is this trip got canceled. What you have to understand about these events is that they are expensive. Tickets are like $200. They don't cover your flights, your meals, your hotel, childcare if you have kids. All of it is out of pocket for you. So I would bet that she probably spent around $1,000, maybe more, for this trip as a whole. My question is, what financial reason would they have to cancel an event when they've already got all of the money from the ticket sales? Maybe it's because, like most MLMs, a lot of them are drowning in debt and aren't making enough money to float them for the rest of the year. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but this is kind of par for the course for treatment in MLMs. They constantly undermine and screw over their distributors in any way that they can. What do the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, manifestation, and useless nootropics have in common?
Okay, so that's one. I think it was like two. I think it was this one too. But basically what they're saying is that so Whitney makes them pay all this money to go to yes, it's a pyramid scheme. I had to look at what MLM was, but it's that money marketing scheme thing. But then also what they're allegedly saying, well, let me put my allegedly banner up. Allegedly what they're saying is that Whitney is also charging them to come to these little conventions, but then she cancels them right before they're supposed to come, or at least that one incident right there. But they're saying this has been more than one.
There is more drama and background information on the Soul People.
Were you like me and wondered what the fuck happened to Wild Rose Beauty? Don't worry, you can try it too if you just give in to Whitney's MLM. Go watch Caitlin's videos. She did 2. And she has found the weirdest shit on this company that Whitney is now running. I'm not really going to give any details. Kate does a much better job of doing that. I'm just going to give my opinion like I do most of the time. I can't stand Whitney anymore. She's annoying as shit. I think anyone that runs an MLM is a fucking monster because you know what you're doing. The people working for you might still not know it yet. They still might think they're part of this great big thing. They're going to make a lot of great money. But you know what you're doing. You know you're screwing these people over and selling shitty products. I think it's really rich that she is Miss Loudmouth on this fucking show. Like, when it comes to Salt Lake City, to me, she has become the most insufferable one. Literally coming after everybody. And here she is, her and her husband, just constantly like building up MLM after MLM after MLM. Like, you are a scammer.
There is more drama and background information on the Soul People.
Were you like me and wonder?
So then I had to look up the other lady that they said look up because she had all the information, which is this lady, Caitlin. And I guess she's the one who has all the information. But then I think she kind of like vindicated her. So let's see.
Around that Whitney Rose's company, Wild Rose Beauty, is shutting down. But there's a lot more to the story. The Sun reported that Whitney had lost a fortune on Wild Rose Beauty and that it was being rebranded to Soul People. Now, it did look like that at a time. However, if you go to soulpeople.com, Whitney is completely wiped from the site aside from Wild Rose Beauty, which all of the products are listed as BOGO, buy one, get one, and that all of the sales are final and non-refundable. Additionally, Whitney posted this to her Instagram stories this morning saying, false information, please don't post about my family or my business without fact checking. Wild Rose Beauty is not done and she will be available for sale again soon. I am no longer a part of Soul People, for the record. I am glad to hear you are no longer a part of that MLM. So good move. What is true is that if you go on the Wild Rose Beauty website, I'll move around here, you can see every item is out of stock, no merch available. But you can get a bath bomb, Meredith. So while all of that information is well and good, there was something in particular I did notice. You see down here at the bottom where Whitney tagged any creator that talked about it and 2 other people. Now, usually when you tag someone on your Instagram stories, they will show up with their username underlined, but Lisa Barlow and Meredith Marks are not. So I was like, why does it look like that? Not only is Whitney not following Meredith, she's not following Lisa Barlow either. So I am believing right now, most likely Meredith and Lisa blocked Whitney. Whitney's following Bronwyn, Heather, Mary, Angie. What about me, Brittany? So personally, I believe that Meredith and Lisa blocked her and that Whitney was planning on us Eagle Eyes to go ahead and catch that she wasn't able to tag them, but wanted us to let them know. So my guess is also that she thinks Meredith and Lisa are behind the rumors, the nastiness about Wild Rose Beauty. Personally, I have a feeling that she's just coming out with a whole brand new line of products because the Instagram is still up, even though their last post was all the way back in December. I just have a feeling they're doing some sort of rebrand and pushing out new products. But what do you think? Was she just trying to get us to go ahead and pick up on this? We did. It's been going around that.
So that's what they said. So then there was this other lady on here that I found that she lets you know what Whitney really did.
Whitney Rose admitting that her business failed is something most housewives and honestly most entrepreneurs would never do on camera. On the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 6 premiere, Whitney revealed that a failed business left her and her husband Justin with nothing. At the time, she didn't name the company, but now she's confirming it was Wild Rose Beauty, the skincare line we've seen her build since season 1. In a powerful Instagram post the day after the episode aired, Whitney said, quote, "As hard as it is to admit failure on such a public level, it was liberating to speak my truth." She added, "I didn't fail. I was actually being protected by the universe and redirected back to my life path." And now we know where that path is taking her. Whitney's officially relaunching Wild Rose Beauty and has reclaimed full ownership of the brand. She says this next chapter is about independence, authenticity, and innovation, and that the brand is no longer affiliated with outside partnerships or former investors, meaning it's all Whitney 100%. She says she's bringing back the heart of the brand with new clean and cruelty-free products, but also keeping some fan favorites from the past. The relaunch marks Wild Rose's second rebrand since it started as Iris and Beau before transforming on the show like we've seen. And while the journey hasn't been easy, the support has been pouring in, not just from fans, but from fellow Bravo lebs. Her co-star Bronwyn Newport called Whitney vulnerable and real. Chanel Ayan from Real Houses of Dubai said she's proud. Even Brittany Bateman, her Real Houses of Salt Lake City co-star, the one who unknowingly sparked the confession on camera, congratulated her. And on Watch What Happens Live, Andy Cohen and Angie K both agree that her honesty was brave and honest. And frankly, I agree. It's brave as hell to admit something so personal, especially on national TV. Most people wouldn't. But Whitney went through something that a lot of Americans and small business owners have gone through, especially in the last few years. And the fact that she not only admitted how it affected her and Justin, but also talked about how heartbroken she was for the people they employed, that was real, that was raw, and it made me respect her even more. So I guess now the question is, will the third time be the charm for Whitney's skincare line? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
So basically all she did was she shut down the business and then she went with another, got products from a different company. So after Meredith brings up the stuff that they're saying about her, which is, again, this is not lawsuits for Whitney. This is just people talking about shit about Whitney on TikTok. But then Whitney says, well, that's just like them talking about Lisa's face. So then I'm like, well, let me look that up. Let's look up Lisa's face, okay?
I've been staring at Lisa Barlow all day, trying to figure out what looks so different. Obviously, her eye makeup looked off, but there's something else.
finally clocked it. She had a bluff. Allegedly, baby gorgeous, don't sue me.
Look at how much space she now has in her upper eyelids versus season 1. It's more obvious when she looks down, like this clip right here. I've been staring at.
So I seen this one, and then I seen this one. This one was funny to me.
No shade, no tea to this tweet, but that's because your surgeons got there first. Plastic surgery is like permanent Facetune. It's akin to saying, didn't need training wheels when you were riding a tricycle. This ain't the flex you think it is, girl.
That one, I think it was one more. Yep, this one. Okay, this is the last one that I found.
Something is up with Lisa.
Now, this is talking about Lisa because people are thinking that Lisa has more going on than what she's telling people, which we all can kind of tell because Lisa is going ballistic on this season, on this episode. And these people are going to talk about how Lisa has been behaving, the way she's been looking, how nervous she is, and why her behavior is so sporadic.
When she's in that car, go back and rewatch that scene when she's driving in the car. Guys, if you look at her face, she's not hiding it. She's like, I'm panicked. I'm terrified. She's so nervous. Like, what's going to be revealed? I'm trying to hide all this stuff, whatever that is. I just, in my opinion, I feel like she's hiding all this stuff. Like, I think something big is going to happen with her, like bankruptcy big. Like, I just, for some reason, I think something like that, because a lot of these lawsuits. So Jamie Rice was a friend of mine, saw one of her TikToks, and she was like, a lot of the lawsuits are about non-payment.
And that's the one that they are grilling her on at this damn luncheon, because she didn't pay that man back, and she owes him, I think it was like how much did she owe him? 118 grand. So I think that this is what's going to come out about her too, is that she really does owe. I think she might owe more than this him.
That's what was alluded to. Big. Listen, I saw her in the car too. I had the same thoughts too.
Yeah.
Her words are defiant. You can't destroy me, only I can destroy me. Her body language, she was so nervous to go to this party.
Yeah.
She wasn't like, I'm psyched. I can't wait. I'm going to confront these bitches and I got nothing to hide. She was like shaking.
And see, to me, this is why she took them to that gun range before she went, because she wanted to get those nerves out before she got to that luncheon, so that she can have all that damn attitude. I think she was drinking too, because the way that she was acting was like just too wild and crazy for me personally. But anyway, so back to the episode. So then we get to because Meredith has now stepped in to have Lisa's back. Now she's put the battery in Lisa's back. So now she has now switched this conversation over to Whitney and her business. And Whitney is like, well, ma'am, I mean, basically Whitney's owning up to her shit. She's like, I mean, I made mistakes. Lisa's trying to ask her how did she fund the business, and she said that her husband put the money into the business. She didn't get any loans from anybody, and then they didn't get any loans from anybody. And then she's like, basically, she said they start this arguing and going back. When they start arguing, I can't really tell what they're talking about, but I do know that Whitney has she made great points when she tells her about the TikTok versus the law. Apparently, Lisa tells Whitney she's the last person that should be talking, and Whitney says Lisa is scared of the truth. And that's what the people were just talking about there, because when Whitney said it to Lisa, that's when Lisa just lost it. She didn't know how to react. She didn't know how to act. Lisa then gaslights Whitney, and they both are yelling about the business, and Whitney storms out of the room. Okay, that is the end of the episode, guys. This one is really chaotic, so I know my notes were probably all over the place, and I was probably all over the place as well. But give me till tomorrow for the next one, because that one was not as chaotic. Whew. That was a lot. But I will say my favorite part out of this was to watch Angie and her dad. I love that part. I do love how vulnerable that Bronwyn was. And I want to get down to the bottom of whatever Lisa got going on, because I just know that Lisa something is happening, and I hope for sure, because sometimes I think what really was triggering her was when they said that when Angie told Amy that she's another Jen Shaw, that's what set her off. And I think that she might be afraid that she might be another Jen Shaw and be going to the damn jail cell. That's what I'm thinking is going on here, but we will have to stick around and find out. With that being said, y'all, thank y'all so much for sticking in here with me with this. I am going to start watching this other episode, so I come on tomorrow night and do the review for yesterday's episode. And I thank you guys for tuning in with me. Make sure you guys like the video on your way out. Please leave a comment in the comment section when you guys log out of here, so you can so I can get back into the algorithm. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Did it, I 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 did it, did it, you did it, I did it, you did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it.